Hello YouTube and fellow DC Comic fans, I'm Keith One Shot, and this is my dramatic reading series, and today we will be covering The Flash issue 33, Bats Out of Hell Part 1 from DC Comics. We start this story off with Superman and the Flash, making their way towards the Fortress of Solitude, as the Flash thinks to himself, "My name is Barry Allen, I'm the Flash. Superman and I have raced many times, but today, I need him to win. The multiverse depends on it. 7 days ago, Challenger's Mountain appeared in Gotham City from a world of chaos called the Dark Multiverse. It was like the shot of a starting gun to a race with no end. A race where I've been running against my worst fears made real. The demon, Barbados, used Batman as a doorway to our world and brought through 7 nightmare versions of Bruce Wayne. Perversions of not only Batman, but of the League as well. Through them, the world has been transformed. Nothing seems real anymore. I run, we lose. I keep going, it hurts. Superman believes Batman is alive, somewhere in this unknown realm. That he's the key to saving the world. Everyone else is scattered, looking for answers. But only I can help send Superman to find Batman. So Steel and I came here, to the Fortress, to launch our own shot back at the Dark Multiverse. I don't know if Central City is still standing, or if Iris or Wally are alive, but I can hear Bruce's voice in my head, saying what he always says, whenever I'm uncertain. Just run faster, Barry. Then the Flash throws Superman through the Phantom Zone, as fast as he possibly can. Then Steel says to Flash, "You think Superman made it, Flash?" Then the Flash replies, "In all my travels within the multiverse, I've always appreciated the order of it all. The Dark Multiverse, on the other hand, is not order. It's chaos given form. But how can you see Superman fly and not be inspired? He will find Batman. I know it." Then Steel looks up at the Anti-Monitor's machine as he says, "I wish I shared your optimism, Flash. The portal to the Dark Multiverse is holding strong. For now. I'd love to study this machine. It calls to the metal in my hammer." Then the Flash says, "Ignore it. The known multiverse exists on different vibrational planes. But Batman studying it is part of why we're all in this mess to begin with. The vibrations coming off of it. I've felt them before, and this cosmic tuning tower was designed to align them." Then Steel says, "We're both men of science, Flash, but we don't need our degrees to see that Batman had no business with a device of this magnitude." Then the Flash scratches his head and says, "We'll deal with that after Superman finds him. They're gonna need this portal open to come home. Hopefully the Justice League satellite really is still working." Then the Flash says through his comlink, "Flash to Justice League, do you read me? Superman's entered the Phantom Zone to find Batman. Please tell me you found mountains of Nth metal and are already on your way back." We then see Wonder Woman, Dr. Fate, and Kendra Saunders, as Diana replies to Flash, "I wish that was true, Flash. The gods have not blessed my journey to the Rock of Eternity with Dr. Fate and Kendra Saunders, but if this is the only way to retrieve the Nth metal, then it will be worth divine wrath." Meanwhile, in outer space, we see Green Lantern flying with Mr. Terrific and the Plastic Man egg. Then Hal Jordan says over the comlink, "Hey, space is no picnic either, Wonder Woman. Mr. Terrific and I are headed to the hidden heart of the real Thanagar Empire, and I do not like flying blind into the unknown like this." We then go to the ocean, where we see Aquaman swimming with Deathstroke. Then Aquaman says through the comlink, "At least you're not saddled with greedy pond scum like Deathstroke, Lantern." Then Slade says, "I'm right here." Then Aquaman continues to say, "But if the Nth metal can kill those twisted versions of Batman, I will risk Atlantis to breach the forbidden halls beneath." Then, back at the Fortress of Solitude, the Flash says through his comlink, "Justice League, I know you're stressed, but remember, we can't let our frustrations get in the way of our teamwork. Now, my part in Superman's game plan might be done, but there's no way Steel and I are going to sit around while the rest of you risk your lives to save the world. Where can I help?" Then, through the comlink, Flash hears a voice say, "You can't!" Then Flash says, "Cyborg, that you, buddy?" Then Cyborg says, "Yes, Flash, it's me. You have to know, you are out of time. They are coming for you. Run!" Then, a boom tube opens up at Wonder Woman's location, and dark energy begins pouring out. Then Dr. Fate says, "What dark magic is this?" Then, Kendra Saunders says, "Do you feel that, Wonder Woman?" Then Diana says, "Sai, is that you?" Meanwhile, in outer space, at Green Lantern's location, another boom tube opens up and releases dark energy. Then Mr. Terrific says, "My T-spheres are not recognizing it as one of Cyborg's boom tubes." Then, Green Lantern's ring tells him, "Warning, interdimensional energy, unknown." Then, Hal Jordan says, "Not helping, Ring, it's pulling us in." We then go to the ocean, where a boom tube opens up and dark energy begins shooting out. Then Aquaman says, "This is worse than any tide drag I've ever encountered." Then Slade adds in by saying, "My rate is going up." Flash then holds his head as he says to the comlink, "Guys, talk to me! Wonder Woman, Lantern, Aquaman!" Then, a boom tube opens up at the Fortress of Solitude, and Flash says, "Is Cyborg bringing them here?" Then Steel replies, "No, looks like we're about to get some bad company. I have a confession to make, Flash. I never liked Batman." Then the Flash says, "You just need to get a chance to know him, and you're about to get 2 chances right now." Then, through the boom tubes, comes 2 Nightmare Batmen, the Murder Machine and the Devastator. Then, the Murder Machine says, "The Man of Steel is mine," and the Devastator replies with an evil grin, "He's all yours. I've already killed one of those." Then, Steel cracks the Murder Machine with his hammer as he says, "I don't care what world you're from. My hammer will knock you back there." Then, the Devastator gets a message from the Batman Who Laughs, telling him, "Has that doomsday virus infected your mind, Devastator? Or do you have a plan to bring that cosmic tuning fork to Barbados?" Then, Devastator replies, "You will learn not to doubt me, Batman Who Laughs." Then, the Murder Machine shouts at Steel, "Your technology is impressive, and yet, there wasn't a version of you on my world, Steel. You were just not impressive enough." Then, as the Flash fights Devastator, Flash says, "He's just as fast as Superman." Then the Devastator shouts, "I'll present the cosmic tuning fork to the Master after I rebuild it." Then, the Devastator smashes the Anti-Monitor's machine. The Flash sees Devastator smash the Anti-Monitor's machine. Then he yells, "The portal! Superman and Batman! They're trapped!" Then, the Murder Machine holds Steel, broken above his body, as the Murder Machine says to Flash, "Look at you! Such a fast learner! Which Flash are you, by the way? Wally or Bart? Your Speed Force imprint reading shows. Ah, Barry. I'm so glad you weren't alive to see what happened to Alfred. But I missed our chats about forensics, old friend." Then, Steel tells Barry with his last bit of energy, "Flash! Get the hell out of here! Find help!" Then the Murder Machine says, "You know, the Barry Allen on my world's greatest accomplishment was one thing, and one thing only. Dying!" Then Flash turns around and races towards the boom tube as he says, "Yeah, well, I have a bad habit of racing death and winning." Then the Flash runs through the boom tube. We then see that the boom tube has brought Flash into Central City, which now has red skies and the symbol of the Red Death shining off in the distance. As Flash races through the city, he thinks to himself, "Damn, they taunted me into a trap, and I ran right at it. But why would the Dark Knight send me back home?" Then the Flash stops running and says, "Oh no!" as he sees a few faces in the crowd. It's Iris and Wally West. Wally West then says, "Flash!" and Barry replies, "Wally, Iris." Then Barry hugs Iris and tells her, I'm sorry, Iris, for judging you like I did. Red Death. His powers made you so brittle. Be careful." Then Iris replies to Barry by saying, "I keep hoping I'll wake up from this nightmare and find you sleeping next to me like before. I've missed you so much, Barry. I'm sorry I killed Thawne." Then Barry tells Iris, "Shh, I know. I won't let another moment pass without you, Iris. I'll get you and Wally out of Central City. I'll save." Then suddenly, the ground gives out underneath Barry, and as he falls, Iris shouts, "Flash!" Then, as Barry falls, he begins to see nightmare versions of himself as Reverse Flash with the robes, of him losing to Godspeed, of Flash destroying worlds in an infinite crisis, and of the Flash standing over the dead bodies of both Wally Wests. Then, the voice of Barbados screams inside of Barry's mind, "In the end, all roads lead back to darkness." Then, we see Flash falling through the darkness, and as he lands, he thinks to himself, "What the hell was that? The dark energy must be getting worse." Superman said he had horrific visions in Metropolis that showed him losing over and over again. Then Flash stands up and says, "I have to get back." Then Barry hears a voice through the comlink saying, "Flash!" Then Barry replies, "Aquaman!" Then Aquaman says, "We appear to be in contact again, but I've lost Deathstroke." Then, through the comlink, we hear Hal Jordan say, "I'm currently flying solo as well." Then Wonder Woman says through the comlink, "They separated us from our allies. They wanted us alone." Then, we hear Cyborg screaming in a panic, "Justice League, I'm using every bit of my programming to keep us talking, but it's getting harder. Everyone is being taken to Gotham. Barbados wants you four together. It's bad. He wants to." Then suddenly, Cyborg cuts out. Then Green Lantern shines his light as he says, "Cyborg, you're breaking up. You there? Damn, The darkness in here is impenetrable! Then, from the darkness, a voice says, "Don't worry, Hal. Everything is going to be okay." Then, the Flash looks up and says, "Bruce, oh my god, it's so good to hear. Are you in the dark with us too?" Then the voice replies,
Yes, let me help you find the light, Barry. I know, I'm not exactly the Bruce you were hoping for, but I am Bruce. We all are. Let me remind you of a story we both have in common. On my world, I developed ways to eliminate the Justice League. Then, they found out, and they were so disappointed in me, I betrayed their trust. It was a dark time for the League, but in all honesty, I was holding back. Now imagine, if 7 Bruce Waynes put their heads together, what horror they could be capable of. If they were to, say, develop separate, murderous Batcaves, meticulously designed, with each of you in mind. So I hope you appreciate our work, because you're going to die here! Ha 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 ha!
We then see the Flash fighting the Red Death. We see Green Lantern battling the Dawnbreaker, Wonder Woman clashing swords with the Merciless, and Aquaman doing his best to hold back the drowned. As this is happening, Barry thinks to himself, I can hear Bruce's voice, but for the first time, it's not telling me to go faster. It's telling me that there's nowhere to run, and that ends today's story. Comic published by DC Comics. All rights, story art, and characters belong to DC Comics and their respective owners. Not me. This has been The Flash, issue 33, Bats Out of Hell, part 1, and I'm your host, Keith One Shot. If you like this video, make sure to check out the rest of my Comic Complete dramatic reading series, and support DC Comics by picking up a copy of the trades and single issue comics. Support your local comic book shop, take care, and have a great day. Goodbye!